Actually, yeah, let's get a ghastly. Oh my god. There's an Eevee! There's a Jolteon, are you serious? Hello everybody, hello to the internet, and hello to you. My name is Francie, and today I'm gonna be continuing my new Cobblemon world that I created for this YouTube channel. This is the second episode, and today's gonna be a little bit different than last day, because today I'm gonna be trying something different. Since this is a brand new channel, I thought I would get a little bit experimental and try with different types of editing. So today, instead of doing commenting live, I'm gonna be putting a voiceover so that while I play and focus a little bit more, because the last episode was a little bit of a mess, but it's okay, I can voice over and comment on the gameplay. I believe that that way it will be more interesting, as the gameplay will be definitely better since I will be more focused and I won't stutter as much. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The immediate first thing that I decided to do was to turn on Keep Inventory, as I didn't want to lose my stuff in case any accidents happen, just like last time. I decided to organize my inventory and check what I had actually gotten last episode, as I previously said, I wasn't paying a lot of attention. I wanted to know what I had first so that I could establish a clear goal for this episode. I decided to start smelting my iron and in the meantime start exploring the houses that were in the village. After looking around for a bit and remembering that there are seller NPCs throughout the villages, I decided to take a look at what they had to offer. It was nothing interesting though. Then I also found a Nurse Joy as well as a PC, but when I tried to take it, it actually just turned into an iron bar. I was pretty sure that the PC was actually a normal breakable block, as I had played this Cobblemon pack before. Turns out they changed the mod from last time when I played, and now you can no longer get PCs as a normal block. Therefore, you can craft them and place them, but you cannot just have them in your inventory and take them with you. I will have this realization later on. I also tried to mine the healing device so I could take it with me, but it was the same problem. After looking around a little bit more and gathering some items, I decided to go back to my furnace, and once I had iron ingots, I actually made some tools. This time I decided not to make armor, as it would be useless since there are no hostile mobs in this mod pack. After all that, I finally decided to check our two Pokemon. Arlitten turned out to have a defense plus, special defense minus nature, which isn't the most useful, but I'll take it. On the other hand, we got really lucky with our Poliwag, as it had a modest nature, which means more special attack and less physical attack. Although I'm not very sure if Poliwhirl or Poliwrath uses special attack, I will find out very soon if this was the best or the worst nature to start with. It also had the move Hypnosis, which can make wild Pokemon fall asleep. This would probably come in handy when catching Pokemon. I also checked our trainer card to determine where would the first gym spawn in which biome. And I think now this is a good time to explain how Cobblemon works, for those that don't know. In short, Cobblemon adds Pokemon to the world of Minecraft. Pretty self-explanatory, right? But not only that, it also adds a lot of items from the saga, both healing items and offensive items, that can help the user in combat, and also some items to actually make craftable Pokeballs of different colors and types. In this mod pack, however, we have a certain challenge, the Gym Challenge. Like in any other Pokemon game, in this Cobblemon world, we have to face 8 gym leaders. We start with a level cap of 25, and as we defeat important trainers, our level cap will rise, which will allow us to use higher level Pokemon as well as catching higher level Pokemon. One of the most peculiar things about this mod pack though, is that Pokemon don't have a fixed spawn. Instead, different Pokemon are likelier to appear depending on which biome you are in. Not only that, but depending on how rare the Pokemon is, it has a smaller chance of appearing. For example, a very common Pokemon like Caterpie has a huge chance of appearing, especially in biomes like forests. On the other hand, legendary Pokemon, like for example Koraidon or Miraidon, have a very small chance of appearing in a certain biome. In their case, that is the beach. That means that at any point in this playthrough, we could encounter a legendary Pokemon out of nowhere. However, we wouldn't be able to catch it because all legendaries have a fixed level. So let's pray that doesn't happen. Surely I won't get that lucky yet, right? Since our Pokemon party was made out of 2 Pokemon and they weren't very strong yet, I decided to go look for some other Pokemon that could help us defeat Brock. Brock is a rock-type gym leader, which means types like water or grass would be super effective. So I looked for Pokemon of said types. But before going on that adventure, I decided to grab the golden block that was on top of the Nether portal. Getting some more gold allowed me to actually expand my backpack, which means I would have more space in case I found any interesting items. With all that being done, I decided to wander into the forest to see if any interesting Pokemon would spawn. Unfortunately, none of them really caught my attention. So instead, I decided to go gather some more resources. For those that don't know, Pokeballs are made of 2 things in this mod pack. The first one is apricorns, which can be found in trees that spawn in any biome, and the second thing is minerals, whether that be copper, iron, or gold. Some of the rarer Pokeballs actually even use diamonds, or, in the case of a Master Ball, a Nether Star. I don't think we'll be getting that anytime soon. So, after going back to the mines where I came from in the last episode, I gathered some iron and actually found something kind of crazy. You guys need to let me know if you've ever seen this before. What I found was a geode inside of a geode. I freaked out a little bit because I wasn't really sure if this was very common or not. I had never seen it personally, so I just explored it for a little bit, grabbed some amethyst, and then got out of there. Wandering into the cave, I found some more iron, I got lapis, and I actually found a mineshaft. However, it didn't take long until I got distracted by iron and got out of the mineshaft again. What I didn't know is that that would be one of the best decisions I have made yet. After gathering all different kinds of materials, such as coal, iron, gold, and even copper, I actually found our 3rd party member, a Ghastly. Actually, yeah, let's get a Ghastly. What are you running? Okay, let's see if it catches, just straight away. I'm not entirely sure it will. But, oh yeah, it did! So this is our 3rd companion. I struggled a little bit to interact with it, but as soon as I did and tried to catch it, it got caught within a single Pokeball. And there it was! Our party now had 3 members, our Litten, our shiny Poliwag, and a brand new Ghastly. With that, I decided to go back into the mineshaft and explore a little bit more. Maybe there would be some interesting stuff in the chests. But after a lot of roaming around and getting some more minerals, there really didn't seem to be anything interesting inside. I spent a lot of time just walking around and getting some more minerals. Which isn't a bad thing because we would need them to craft more Pokeballs. While past me gathers some more resources, I think now it's a good time to introduce myself a little further. Last episode I actually wasn't very concrete on who I actually am, as I was pretty nervous, but now that I'm voicing over, I decided to let you guys know a little bit more about me. So the first and main thing that I wanted to actually mention is that, as you may see in the gameplay, the language isn't set to English. That's actually because English is not my native language, although most of you probably noticed that. My native language is actually Spanish, and the main reason why I speak English in these videos is first so I can reach more people, and second because my future career, the career I'm pursuing, is actually translation and interpretation. So, not only do I know Spanish and English, but I am also currently studying German and French. So that's why if I sometimes mess up with words or my accent sounds a little bit weird, it's because I'm not natively English. But you guys let me know in the comments if it bothers you that everything is in Spanish, if you would prefer it that I change it to English, or if it's okay just as it is. Another important aspect of my life that I would like to mention is that while I play many video games, a lot of different ones, I am actually a passionate shiny hunter. I mention this because I would like to ask you all, would you be interested in seeing more shiny hunting content in the mainline Pokemon games, or would you prefer something more like a variety of different games? Originally, I planned to make videos on a little bit of everything, as I said, Minecraft, Pokemon, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, maybe some Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda, but if I see that more people are interested in the shiny hunting content, then I could focus a little bit more towards that. I would still make videos about other video games, but I just want to cater to what I believe my audience might prefer. With all that being said, let's continue with the gameplay. After more mining and more mining and more mining, yeah, I didn't do a lot in this episode. I finally got out of the cave. After walking around a little bit more in the forest, I didn't actually find any Pokemon that could be useful. There were a lot of grass types and bug types, but there were none of my ultra favorite Pokemon of all time. I know I should be catching more just in case I need them for the future, but since they are all common spawns, I believed at that point that I could probably catch them later if I needed to. That was until we got our first rare spawn, and it was none other than Eevee. Oh my god. There's an Eevee! Eevee is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Dare I say my favorite in general. I have loved it even before Let's Go released. I have always been a huge Eevee fan. So you can imagine how excited I was when I saw this cute little guy appear on my map. However, the easy part was actually spotting it. And now came the hard part. Eevee did not want to stay in the ball whatsoever. I tried almost everything. I tried to make it sleep with Poliwag using hypnosis, but it was to no avail. It quickly took me out after a few tries. So I swapped to Litten and tried to lower its health a little bit, but that was also not working. Desperate and not knowing what to do, I just pulled out our last Pokemon, Ghastly, and prayed that the Pokeball actually worked this time. What I didn't realize is that the Eevee only had normal type moves. So actually our Ghastly was immune to all of its moves. This was a lifesaver because I probably wouldn't have been able to catch it in any way if I didn't have Ghastly. So after running out of normal Pokeballs that they gave us at the start, I used some of the Pokeballs that I gathered at the people's houses. The people being the villagers, obviously. Around this time is when something crazy happened. And no, it's not a legendary. But we got a Jolteon to spawn. There's a Jolteon, are you serious? I was freaking out because I didn't know what to do. I obviously really wanted Eevee, and I knew that catching that Jolteon was going to be very hard, but I still wanted both of them. So after a little bit of debating, I made some quick balls and tried to catch this Eevee as fast as I possibly could so that I could try to catch that Jolteon with a quick ball. In the meantime, I was also thinking of what could we possibly make this Eevee turn into. At first, I was thinking of Vaporeon. That's why, after running out of red Pokeballs, I tried to use the only blue Pokeball that we had. But right before using it, I realized that we had gotten some Leaf Stones from the cave. So I realized that I could evolve it into Leafeon instead and went for the green Pokeballs. But after many tries, making Eevee sleep with Ghastly's hypnosis, which apparently he also had, and lowering its HP to 40%, we finally caught the Eevee. Sadly, at this point, the Jolteon had already despawned and I wasn't able to get it. I was partially okay with it though, because I knew that I wasn't really ready to catch it, and it could also respawn at any point, so I let it be. Finally, after a long and exhausting adventure, I came back to the village and tried to find that Nurse Joy to go ahead and heal my party. I got a little bit distracted and lost though, as I couldn't find the entrance to the place where the Nurse Joy was, but in the end I got in, healed my party, and got out. I also happened to discover, while I was going around the building, that there are waystones in this mod pack. I haven't actually used them yet, because I've always used the teleport function from Shiro's map, but I thought that this time I could probably make a good use of them, since I didn't just want to teleport everywhere. That would feel a little bit like cheating, but you guys let me know if you would let me teleport with the map in case we are in a dire situation, or if only waypoints should be allowed. After naming the waypoint Pallet Town, as this was the village we started on, I finally went ahead and with a Leaf Stone evolved our Eevee into Leafeon. I quickly organized its moveset, and before ending the episode, I decided to go ahead and grab some sand. I would then use it to make glass and make a new PC, as I had broken the one that was next to Nurse Joy. That's when realization hit me. I realized that I could no longer just carry a PC everywhere, which meant that I would have to visit the town every time I wanted to change my party. Hopefully, with waystones, that wouldn't be that much of a problem. And after a little bit of debating and an hour of recording, which actually makes for a way shorter video than I thought, I decided to end today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope the edit was good, because this is my second time editing a YouTube video and my first time doing a voiceover video. So I hope it was nice. I think it was a chill time, at least, you know, I was relaxed. I was just doing my thing without having to talk. But I hope I can make it interesting, because I didn't actually do much in this episode. But next time, I will actually be focusing a little bit more on leveling up our Pokemon. Probably not taking on the gym yet, but I do want to level them up to where they can, you know, take down other trainers easily and also catch some higher level Pokemon. But yeah, that will be it for today. So, without further ado, I hope you guys had fun and see you all next time. Bye bye! If you watched this video until the very end, thank you so much for watching. If you could please consider subscribing, liking the video, and commenting down below, as it helps the channel a lot. With that being said, see you guys next time.